Hi, and welcome to another episode of Bespoke Architects Daily Pinup. I'm Nicole Walters, Director of Bespoke Architects, and I'm about to show you what inspiring images made our Pinterest boards today. There wasn't much out there today. It was quite a light day on inspiring images. Nonetheless, we have collated them for you. The first image on our board is this little kitchen here. I really found the materials were really nice. So again, we're sort of seeing that dining table coming off the island bench, and that's that waterfall solid timber, which we can see is the material on the back of the island bench. And then it also makes up the base cupboards on the other side of the kitchen, and then this flow-through joinery. I really like the way that the flow-through joinery works in a design. It really elongates a space and makes a space feel much bigger than it is, a bit like the desks behind me. If they were to stop and start, the space would feel smaller than it is. But I did pin this pin, if you're looking for it, on our layout board, just because it's sort of like an L-shaped kitchen with that island bench and then that dining built-in dining table sort of creating the rest of that, or a T shape for the island bench, but an L shape for the kitchen work area. And I found that interesting. It sort of does have the golden triangle, the fridge, the cooktop, and the sink, and then this prep area, and then this eating area. And the eating area does look out that window. So it's quite an interesting kitchen composition, and that's why that one made the board. From that same property, I also pinned the vanity unit. I really liked the layering effect that they've gone for. We can see that there's a plaster wall behind a screen, and then the screen has got plants and vines growing on it. In front of that, we've got backlit circular mirrors, which are these ones here, and then we have the floating sort of vanity unit where we can see the greenery behind. So I really liked the depth that created without actually taking up too much more space in the bathroom. It's the fact that the mesh is open and the mirrors are backlit that really make that pop. So I just thought that was a really nice vanity composition. I pinned this image here for the scale of these timber doors. They are enormous compared to that woman. This is the back image of it here. From the backyard. You can see they're almost 1.5 to 2 stories tall, those doors, and I just think they're fantastic. And then again, I really like this mezzanine level little half window in the bottom of the dome. So externally, that's that window there. Internally, it's quite nice, and we assume that there's some stairs going down right beside that. So there were just elements of that design that I really liked, and again, the shape is really nice. It's interesting. The rest of the house is obviously square in its appearance. We can see that the way it's joined together. This is obviously the existing rear wall of the property, and then they've added this extension onto the back. So I really liked the way that worked, and then the really nice curved windows, and then these enormous scaled doors. So that's why that one made the board. Back to our loft house, another couple of images that really grabbed me was the way this walk-in robe is laid out. So assumably this is a shower here. I'm saying that because of the glass screening and the change in floor service. But then we can see that the walk-in robe is really quite luxe. It's got that sort of that sitting space in the middle. It has a makeup table with a mirror and a view, which I really like at the back there, the suspended mirror. And on this side, we can see that we have all our, all our storage laid out. So we've got drawers, we've got shoe storage, we've got hang racks and shelving. So I really just like that as a walk-in robe. And then again, they've obviously got a theme happening with these sort of vertical wall gardens, and we can see that as part of their sort of mezzanine, 2 mezzanines joined by a catwalk in the middle and a staircase just there. So I just really like that layout. I also really like the waffle pod style ceiling that's happening above that. It adds interest. We can see it again in this image here of that luxe walk-in robe. This mid-century, I really liked. That's a wall tile. That's not a wallpaper behind that vanity mirror, and that is why it has made the board. I thought that was a beautiful tile with a pattern and a beautiful shape if you zoom in on that image. The material palette on this particular bathroom, it's very rustic. It's not everybody's taste, but again, when I'm pinning things that I like, things that are interesting, and things that will appeal, I should say, to a vast audience. I mean, our client base is very diverse, as are their styles. And, you know, they're things that I like to embrace and challenge myself designing for. And I just really enjoyed the sort of the roughness of the salt and pepper polished concrete slab underneath there, those sort of handmade tiles. We're seeing a terrazzo base in here, so that's very on trend. We've got the barn style door, and then these really interesting sort of brick dividing walls with those really rustic beams. So overall, I really enjoyed that as a material palette. I realize it's not everybody's taste, but it certainly is attractive in its color palette, its toning, and its textures. And other vanities that caught my eye today, they did a gallery of public bathrooms for children, and can't you do some exciting things for children that I'm pretty sure can translate quite well into residential. I just loved these vanity units. We can see there's 2 different heights, obviously for 2 different height children, but I really enjoyed the fact that they're recessed into a curve. That's something interesting and different. The lighting in that space is really good above those mirrors. And then the way that the pill-shaped mirror reflects the vanity basin below, which reflects the curve above. And then the color palette itself, that soft pink, is really, really nice. And then this one was from the same gallery. And I just really liked the colors, the shapes of the mirror, and then the fact that they'd used sort of suspended pot plants above those mirrors. I found that, you know, the 2 different mirrors, the composition of those 2, the 2 basins under the half round, the single basin under the single mirror. It's just a really nice vanity unit that could be applied residentially, and we can see it's wall hung, a bit of storage here, and then some concealed storage underneath. So that was really nice. And then finally from that gallery was just this really nice, I'm assuming it's a concrete sort of freeform wash trough. It's really long, but then they've done these coloured tiles to segment the different tap spaces. And I just really love the play of materials and colour in that vanity unit. And then lastly today, I really just enjoyed this little, excuse me, installation that's been done in Copenhagen, I believe. And it's these pontoons of floating trees. And that's just really, really beautiful. If you've got a few minutes to find that article, you can either click the link on the pin, will be the quickest way to get you there, to really enjoy the playfulness of that, that idea of just these floating pontoons of trees. I think it's really nice, and maybe something the City of Greater Geelong would consider doing. So that is all the things that we found of interest today. Like I said, quite a small day. If you are looking for previous episodes of the Daily Pinup, I have started loading them onto Pinterest. There is a limit though on size or length of video. This one will make it. But some of the other ones aren't. So if you are looking for the full episodes, please go across to YouTube and check them out. The links are actually on the pins themselves. So thanks so much for joining me today. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Thanks. Bye.